Thanks for joining us in the SFuels VPR Stadium. To make sure everything runs smoothly, we're going to take you through a few simple steps to get ready for a session.
First of all, you want to make sure you've got all your training gear ready and you're logged into Zwift. Now launch the live YouTube show by clicking the Join Stadium button on the SFuels website.
You won't want to miss a second of the action. Make sure that you come into the stadium about 5 minutes in advance so you're ready to go. You have your SFuels right by your side because it is going to be hot in there, and we look forward to seeing you in the stadium.
Good morning, athletes, and welcome to the SFuels Stadium Sunrise Session. Please join me in welcoming our host for this morning's session, Leighton Phillips.
Hey, good morning, athletes. It's 6 a.m. here on the East Coast in the U.S., and welcome again to the SFuels Sunrise Session here in the stadium. It's a cool one this morning, getting close to that 0 degrees Celsius and into the high 30s in the Fahrenheit system. Well, thanks for joining us. It's great to have you all with us, and thanks for some of the new folks that are joining us. We'll walk around the stadium in a second so we can set you up and you're ready to go. It's going to be a high-intensity Tuesday again. This is the mile run session, and we're going to walk through what's in stake for that in just a second. But we're going to talk a bunch about the awesome racing over the weekend at Challenge Daytona down there in Florida, and talk about some of our athletes who are running there, and also just give you a little bit of insight into some of the recent articles that we've posted up on the SFuels site with respect to recovery and ketones, which I think you're going to find super interesting, particularly after a session like this morning. Well, hey, joining us all the way from Manila in Philippines is Raymond Ordoveza. How you doing there, buddy?
Doing good.
There he is.
How's everyone doing?
He's just warming up there, so that's good to see. I imagine it's pretty warm, unlike here in the U.S.
Little warmer.
Well, cool.
10 degrees warmer.
Yeah, that's right. Well, just hopefully that it just stays warm and nothing too erratic down there with you, bud, in the Philippines. Well, folks, if you haven't been to the stadium before, you're going to see some screens pop up like the one that Raymond's running on right now, and we'll also have some other screens to surface Zwift on, and we'll also have a timer clock, and this being a run session will be a stopwatch, and when you join in with the bike session, you'll see that there's a bike timer that pops up. So pretty simple, and let's talk a little bit about the session this morning before we jump into it. It's the mile speed session, so this is 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and when we're doing those intervals, it's about RPE 910, so this is top end, high intensity for sure. Heart rate zone 5, and we'll show you some of what that looks like in a second. Those of you follow your lactate threshold, we'll show you where this session sits, and we'll do 6 of those intervals, and then we'll do 8 reps, and then we'll do 6 sets overall. We'll have about 2 minutes recovery between each of the sets. So that's how it looks on paper. It looks easy on paper, but it's harder on the treadmill, right, Raymond?
A little bit harder. We'll see how it goes when we get started.
You'll be right. And folks, this is what it looks like for those of you who follow your lactate threshold. So if your lactate threshold was around 160 for a session like this during the intervals, you're probably looking at about 168. And folks, if you're just wondering, like as you go from intervals into the rest sessions, either bring your cadence down on your treadmill or just jump to the side rails and keep the treadmill running at the same speed, because these 30 by 30s, there's not a lot of time for the treadmill to come up and down, and certainly not a lot of time for your heart rate to come up and down, so feel free to jump off the rails. How you doing there, Raymond? You pretty good to get moving here?
Warmed up, ready to go. Just let me know. I'll bring the speed up.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, let's keep it there.
What was that?
Just let me know when to bring the speed up.
Yeah, sure. Well, hey, folks, we got the countdown timer counting down now. You'll see it on the screen there. We've got about 50 seconds to go before we get moving on this first rep. And we're going to bring the music up with each of these two. And as I said, we've got a bunch to talk about, so it's going to be fun as we knock out this Tuesday morning session. And we'll have a chat about some of the racing over the weekend and what went on. But it was high intensity down there in Florida, to say the least. Well, hey, folks, I hope you're warming up there. I'm going to start bringing up some folks here on Zwift in the background there. See if Raymond's here. Firstly, here he is, just here now. We've got 10 seconds to go, folks, before we launch into our first session. And here it is now, folks. Let's bring that up, and I'll bring the music up, and we'll get moving.
Hey, look there, Raven. Do you just get rid of it?
Okay, that's the first 30 seconds. First one's the toughest one, huh? Hey Raymond, you might have the sound up pretty high on the YouTube there, I think, maybe.
Turning it down.
Okay, folks, we have 3 seconds to go, and we'll ramp it back up. This is rep number 2. Okay, we can bring that back to the rest. We'll bring it back up and go again, folks, here. Okay. Yeah, we got some fast runners out on Zwift this morning, folks, all around the track and beyond. So we'll make sure that we get some time sessions from some of these folks as they turn out some of the Ks here. Here in Watopia this morning. Okay, we're about to get into number 4 here, folks. Let's bring that back up now. Okay, back that up. We're halfway in, folks. We're about to turn it up again and into rep number 5. Here it is now. Let's bring that back up. Okay, you can bring that back. That's 5 down, folks, and great to see everyone here putting out some great intensity this Tuesday morning. As I said, there's some awesome speed on the track down in Florida on the weekend in Daytona, and we'll make sure we talk a bit about that. But some of the run speeds, in miles an hour, there's some low 5s there coming out from Gustav Iden and also from Matt Hansen. And okay, let's bring that back up, folks. This is rep number 6. I'm sure we'll get plenty of time to talk about this. Okay, folks, that's 6 down. What'd you think, Raymond, of the format of the race on the weekend?
I was just happy to see racing again. But the format was great. Very close to what we call 70.3 distance. But the speed, the times were just insane. Yeah,
that's right. And certainly the 20-meter rule played havoc with a few athletes, unfortunately. All right, folks, this is wrap number 7. Let's bring it back up. Yeah, well, it's a new format, and obviously you've had the best of the ITU guys there, and the best of the Ironman, and the best of the 70.3. So if anyone was in Florida on the weekend.
Yeah, lots of big names over in that race.
Yeah, men's and women. All right, folks, we can jump back on the treadmill. This is the 8th and final rep of set number 1. Let's bring that back up. Okay, we got a full, it's really like a 2.5 minute rest here actually, folks, as we have this first 30 seconds and then we drift over into our full 2-minute clock. So yeah, look, just firstly on the ladies race, Raymond, it was kind of anyone's game at the start of the bike, but then quickly things started changing a bunch, huh?
It felt, when you saw the lineup before the race, there were so many big names that you were expecting to be at the very front of the race.
Yeah.
And with the winner coming out of the swim well placed, but finishing pretty far back on the bike, it was really exciting to see how many people she passed.
Right. And I know, you can see some of the Uber bikers, and frankly, in this particular race, there was a few ex-pro cyclists, both women's and men's. Actually, I know in the women's race, Lisa Norden certainly put the hammer down early in the race and let out. Of course, Paula stayed with her, which was impressive to see. But obviously, she was nursing a bit of a calf strain there, and wasn't too long into the run where the calf just gave way and Paula came by. But just hugely emotional for Paula as she, for Lisa as she dealt with that calf issue, and really disappointing. She was just in great form coming off the bike, and Paula, of course, in awesome form and just finished off low 6s, 6 minutes per mile through most of the run, and kudos to her, and back-to-back victories at the same course. So impressive.
Same race, back-to-back, 2 years straight.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. And her run, she looked so in control on the run and just didn't miss a step. The technique, the posture was just perfect. Momentum was great. Clearly, she just had everything dialed in. One of those perfect days that we all dream about or remember. They don't happen too often.
And if you want to geek out about her running form, if you looked at her upper body towards the end of the race, it still looked very relaxed. She didn't look tired at all. If you had to make her do another 3K to finish 21, she would have kept that speed, maybe even sped up.
Yeah.
All
right, folks, we're back into rep number 1 of set number 2. I'll bring that music up and let's jump into it. Here we go now. We're back under rep number 2, folks, so we can dial that back up again. And just while we're in that rep session on this set number 2, I'll just bring up some little bit of data here on our own Tim Reynolds, who was racing on the weekend and just had a fantastic race, and some of his data just impressive. The swim, he says, were a little see if that comes back. Might have had a connection problem there, Raymond. Not sure.
I'm thinking back on all those times when I felt close to
Let's see if that works here. Yeah, I got you here now. Okay, folks, we're at rep number 4, and we've got about 12 seconds to go on rep number 4, and then we'll get into that rest. And a bit of a connection problem there, but we're back and racing again. All right, we can dial that down again. That's 4 down, folks. We got 4 to go on this set number 2. I don't know if you heard all the details there, Raymond, but I just put Tim's data up and his performance on the weekend. He came in 3rd overall for his age group and got his ticket to the Nationals for Challenge Daytona. So we're going to try to get him in on Saturday to the Super Bricks, and he's going to talk through all that with us, his race down in Daytona. So that's cool.
That's awesome. I'll wake up for that.
Yeah. Okay, folks. This is rep number 5. We can dial it back up now. Okay, can bring that back, folks. That's 5 down, and we've got 3 to go. Well, yeah, I think it was clearly the format of the whole stadium and track on the bike of being, down in the bars for 80 kilometers, 50 miles was just heavy on a number of athletes. And okay, folks, we're about to ramp up into rep number 6. I'll keep talking a little bit about Daytona, but I know that Sebastian Kinley had to pull out. I know Javier Gomez talked about his glute just totally locking up on the bike, and it really wasn't several kilometers into run where he said it opened up and he could begin attacking again on the run, and he certainly did come back. But for quite a while there, he was out of contention. Okay, folks, you can bring that back to rest. That's 6 down. And then, obviously, the big drama for the day and just a surprise for all was when Alistair, I think he said he's tore his calf muscle. So that sounds awful. And hopefully he has a quick recovery. We wish him all the best with that recovery. And then I mentioned about Lisa Nolan and her calf muscle too. Okay, folks, rep number 7. Let's bring that back up. So yeah, just tough race in terms of its bearing on the body, coming around that track 20 times in the TT position, had us bearing clearly. And some athletes though lapped it up, and some of the times were unbelievable to watch, and we'll talk more on them in a second. We're 7 down, folks. We got 1 more to go before we finish off this second set. You can pull that back and rest there, folks, now. And we'll tee up our last rep of set number 2 in just a second.
It's
How you
also
feeling
a
there,
good
Raymond?
day for bike tech.
What was that?
Feeling good. It's also a good day for bike tech. We got a new Scott Plasma and a new Canyon Speedmax out on the course.
That's right, exactly. It's test day. All right, folks, this is rep number 8. Yeah, you're dead right. It was the day that the new kit of the year came out on the track and showed what's possible. So Lionel and Sam certainly put in some big wattage today, and although I saw Dimtev was the one to watch on the bike, he was even faster again, putting out some more watts. All right, folks, that's 8 down. We're 2 sets down, and getting through this on a Tuesday morning.
How many sets are we doing?
We're doing 6 sets,
6?
buddy. 6, yeah.
All right.
Hang in there. We're 2 in.
We're 2 in.
Well, let me bring up some of the results, and we'll take a look at maybe the women's first, and just look there. It was impressive to see some of this. So, as I said, Paula Findlay, back-to-back victories now at Daytona, 25 on the swim, and we had 106 on the bike and 106 on the run and 151 on the bike with a 324.55. So, there was a lot of discussion about Annie Hogg, of course. She was given a 2-minute penalty during the bike, and but even if you add that to, or take it off, the 327.30 that she finished at, she wouldn't quite have got to Paula, but anything could have happened, of course, if they were to get really close in the latter part of the run, so you just never know with this. Laura Phillip in 3rd, Holly Lawrence in 4th, and Amelia Watkinson from New Zealand there in 5th. So ties out the top 5, and just again, super high intensity race, and awesome to see just Paula get that back-to-back result. And sure it just sets her up well as we go into hopefully a more normal year of racing ahead of us. But she's clearly got form, and just full compliments to her. Just the smoothness of her run and the posture and momentum was just a real spectacle to see for us all. Folks, we're about 12 seconds away from getting into set number 3, and we'll warm it all up here again, and we'll get moving again. And here we go now, folks, if you want to bring that back up.
Another place where we'll be understood, 'cause that's all I ever wanted, all we'll ever need, a place that makes us happy and free. I'll be waiting.
Okay, we can back that up, folks. So quite a few folks got hit by the penalty rule on the weekend. It's kind of new for some of the ITU folks to have to run in a non-drafting race. So clearly that played havoc with a couple of the men and a few of the women. And, it's tough to see, but all right, folks, I think the timer might have a little bit of a problem here, but we're back on with the interval now. If you want to ramp that back up, this is rep number 2. Okay, you can bring that back now. As I said, full congrats to Tim Reynolds for his 3rd place, and Tim will join us on Saturday and talk us through his race and give us the blow-by-blow of the swim bike run there in Daytona. Had an awesome race. I think he had a few issues in the latter part of the run that he'll talk us through, I'm sure, and tell us what happened there. We're going to rest here, folks, and we're about 5 seconds away from kicking off into, here it is now, rep number 3. Dial that back up.
To go there with you, so get ready for the ride. I'll be waiting for the moment when our love lights up the sky. I'll be waiting for you. I'll be waiting
Back to the rest, folks. That's 3 down. Getting much mileage in at the moment, Raymond?
I'm actually on a run-specific block, so I mean, for a triathlete, it's more mileage than I'm used to. Probably averaging about I'm at 50 kilometers right now, building up to 80.
Got it. That's good. Good solid miles. Okay, folks, this is rep number 4. We'll bring that back up.
I know there is a place for us to be, another place where we'll be understood. 'Cause that's
Okay, we're gonna rest there, folks. We'll bring that back up halfway through on this set number 3.
A place that makes us happy.
Well, we'll help contribute to your 80K here in the stadium, bud, and see if we can't get some of those Ks done for you. High speed ones.
Mostly base miles right now, so it's nice to get the speed work in. And when you do a lot of base and then you transition to speed, it feels different from the last time you did it.
Okay, folks, we're back into rep number 5. We can bring that back up. Okay, can bring that back. That's 5 down. And I'm going to try to surface here the men's results if I can. And we'll take a look at, here it is up here now. And I'll keep you on the clock here. We're in a rest period now. We got 10 seconds to go. We're 5 reps down, but I'll keep it ticking over as we talk through some of these results here. But 3, 2, and 1. We can ramp that back up, folks. This is rep number 6. So yeah, Gustav Eden swam in at 23:44, a bike of 1:41, and then just an amazing run. I just can't believe I'm reading it really. 58 minutes for 18 kilometers. So I think Raymond, you were calling out, right? We saw some world records over the weekend also happen on. We can bring that back to a rest, folks. Half marathon. So what was that? 57. Wow. All right, folks. 3 and 2 and 1. We can bring that back up. This is rep number 7. So 57 world record for 21 plus kilometers, and here these guys are after 80 kilometers on the bike. They get off the bike after 80 kilometers in an hour 41 and run 58 minutes for 18 kilometers. Just unbelievable. I think the best time of the day, though, goes to Matt Hansen. You can pull that back, folks, to a rest period here. 57:21. And for folks who are watching, and I'm sure you can go check it out online on social or what have you, and just look at Matt's speed. And I mean, he looked like an 800-meter runner in a number of times when the camera was on him. Okay, folks, this is the 8th and final rep. Let's bring that back up. Set number 3. Just impressive running from Matt Hansen, just to be running so many athletes down through that whole run of his, and just finishing so strong to place himself second for the day. I think he was in serious point. Okay, folks, that's a rest now. We can just come back to a rest. And there were some names there, of course, Raymond, that I think not too many folks have heard of until the weekend. The one that caught me by surprise, George Goodwin from the UK, and ran himself into a 3rd place. And obviously we had heard of the likes of Lionel and Sam and Rudy von Berg, but yeah, it's great to see some athletes that clearly this race format played out well to them. And the other aspect too is that again, when some of the other athletes from the UK, either because of injury or because of the penalty zone, they weren't in contention. So new athletes that we hadn't really seen too much before, like George, rose to the top. We got a good look at him, so it was just great to see that.
Do you think that could have something to do with the Olympic year? You know, the ITU athletes coming into the race with all this Olympic fitness, Olympic ready fitness.
Yeah, it could be, though. Usually you would have, it would be, you're right. Usually it would be just a real short amount of time between, this year would have been Tokyo, of course, and this race. But, they've known for some time that Tokyo was off and likely this would be the only race left. So I think they had plenty of time. But, look, I think if if you look at the bike and just see the long chain of athletes that were 20 meters apart, if you were going to make a break, you had to be passing a number of athletes, really. So that was a big call. If you didn't come out of the swim in a good position, it was just a real churn through the race. But some of them did it. Dimtev and Sam Long and Lionel, of course, just cranked through the athletes in the bike and set themselves up for a run. Impressive running from Sam and Lionel for sure. We're 3 seconds away, folks. We're about to jump into set number 4. Here it is now. We can dial that back up. I'll bring the music back up now. Okay, you can bring that back to a rest there. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it is, folks. Rep number 2.
Start your endurance training and racing free of carbs and sugars, and switch on simultaneous fat and carb burning. Check out the science at SFuels. QR code below.
Okay, folks, as you bring that back to a rest, you'll hear this from SFuels as we get into sessions like this, and this is our purpose of our product. At about first 30 minutes, you should be really racing free and training free of carbohydrate, and that's really to open up both the carbohydrate and fat channels for oxidation, and really open up those channels so you can oxidize both simultaneously. You can find out the science on the QR code, folks, but right now we're back into rep number 3. We can dial that back up. Stadium here in Zwift. Looks like it's nighttime in Zwift. Okay, here on the East Coast of the US. Not too long. About 10 seconds to go, folks. Let us rest, and that's 3 down. We got 5 to go. And we're getting through these sets this morning. It is High Intensity Tuesday. Let's bring it back up, folks. Number 4. Yeah, if you're feeling the pinch of the speed this morning on the treadmill, I think they were running the women's about, Paula was at 6:07, maybe Annie Howe was just a little faster than that, and Matt was in the low 5s. So here we go, folks, let's ramp it back up. This is rep number 5. Let's see how close you can get it to these 5-minute mile paces, huh? Rest, that's 5 down. We're getting through this, folks. It's getting to the pointy end of the session. Hopefully you got a bit of sweat on you now as you start off your Tuesday, or finish off your Tuesday, of course, in Asia. And get this high intensity Tuesday done. Alright, here we go now, folks, to bring that back up. How you feeling there, Raymond?
Good.
When's the first race for you coming up again?
I'm signed up for something in March, but no announcement yet if it's pushing through. But we have one confirmed race in June of next year. Okay. So I got some time to go. I've got a nice long base season.
That's good. All right, folks, this is rep number 7. Let's dial it back up again. Set down 2, so we're certainly getting through here, folks. Good to see. It's getting tough. All right, here we go now, folks. It's rep number 8. This is the final rep of this set. Okay, can bring that back, folks. Nice work. We are into
I wanna keep this feeling forever and ever. I'm there when you need me, whenever. Keep this feeling forever and ever.
What's the distance of that race you got planned in, what is it, March, did you say? Oh, cool. Well, that's great. Yeah. Well, that's cool. What, you got any times in mind you're thinking about shooting for?
We'll see.
No commitment,
It'll really
huh?
boil down to yeah. It'll boil down to the temperature on the day and the weather.
Right. So you guys can certainly have some changeable weather there in the Philippines, so
yeah.
It never gets cool. I've never known it to be cool, and
yeah. But personally, I'd be really happy with anything below 12. Below 11 would be a stretch for me where I am right now, given my fitness.
Yeah, well, it's just everyone's just going to be getting back, right, and just kind of testing themselves and seeing where they're at. As so little training this year, so it's just going to be testing themselves. And that was kind of like what it was on the weekend too. Is that a lot of people hadn't seen each other racing, right, and hadn't really had an opportunity. I know Matt Hansen said in an interview that he'd actually got 6 races in this year, which is just kind of unheard of. So good for him, but most people, it was like their one race of the year. All right, we're going to have 15 seconds, folks, and we get back into the next set, and we'll dial it back up and get into the pointy end of this session this morning. And here it is now, folks. 3, 2, and 1. We'll bring the music up. Let's dial it back up again. Rep number 1.
Keep this feeling forever and love you now.
3 and 2 and 1, and you can bring that back.
Love you now.
Rest, walk, or on the rails there.
Love you now.
Well, I know Challenge has got another race in Miami actually now on another stadium, not too far from the Daytona Stadium. That'll be in March, but the format's here to stay, I think. Here it is, folks. We're in rep number 2. We can dial that back up again now.
I know how to love you
Okay, I can bring that back to a rest here. Folks, as we're bringing through these intervals, I'll just bring up in a second just one of the technical blog articles we released. I think it was last Monday. Something we did in conjunction with Zach, but here we go now, folks. This is rep number 3. We'll dial that back up.
I know how to love you now.
So yeah, Zach's actually racing this coming weekend. He's having his first 24-hour attempt race in Phoenix, but we co-developed a product, and he's been using that, which is, we can bring that back, folks. That's a rest now, next 30 seconds. But this article is just on the use of ketones, and it really questions the use of ketones having direct relationship to performance. But what it does do is spare muscle tissue in terms of being oxidized, protein oxidized in the muscle tissue, and by doing that, it can actually, okay, can bring that back up, folks. This is rep number 4, halfway through. I'll just bring some folks here up. But by taking exogenous ketones, meaning consuming them, we can spare muscle tissue from being oxidized, and this is helping a ton in recovery. And in conjunction with whey protein and high-dose glutamine, we can really spare the protein from oxidation. You can bring that back to a rest, folks. And by doing that, we can increase the capacity of training day to day as we get into the high-volume sessions, either at building base or as we get closer to racing. We got some more of the high-speed, high-intensity sessions. So this formula helps to do that. We can start dialing that back up, folks. We're going into here rep number 5. The article talks a little bit about the early findings in the 1970s and the 1980s about the use of exogenous ketones, and how it supports this protein sparing effect, and it then gets into some of the lab data more recently that got published, and Zach talks a little bit about his preparation for his 24-hour race. Folks, we can bring that back to a rest here now. He was churning out a few weeks of 200 miles plus running as he got himself ready for his 24-hour race this coming weekend. And he talks in this race about splitting out the protein and ketone intake across the day. And this helps to ensure you've got a constant flow of protein. Okay, that's rep number 6, folks. We can dial that back up again. And he talks about his recoveries. They're really critical, of course, when you're doing this kind of volume in prep for a race like this. So the article's up on the website. You can check it out under technical articles on the SFuels website, and it'll go into all the detail and the science behind it. But it all is brought together in our SFuels Revival product, and again, you can check that up on the store. And that's the product that brings all of this research together for accelerated recovery and high capacity training. We're in rest number 6. We got 2 more reps to go in this set, folks, and hopefully we can have a decent recovery coming out of this. Let's see here how we're doing overall. All right, folks, we can bring that back up. This is rep number 7. Okay, not sure if we had another connection problem there with Raymond. We can pull that back down, folks. That's rest period here, and we're in now. Set strong. Okay, we'll see if we've got Raymond here. Got some connectivity problems there, unfortunately. Happens. All good. Got your video there, buddy?
There we go.
All right, folks, we can bring that back to a rest here now. And I think we've got one more set to go. I think we've got 2.5 minute rest here, and then we'll dial into our final set of the day. How you doing there, Raymond? All right? You can hear me
Pretty
okay?
good. Internet connection's not great, but workout's going great.
Connection issues, no problem.
Workout's going good.
It happens. As long as you're still churning out a few miles there, all good. Yeah, you're right. So you got about 4 months of base building before that Ironman. So that's that's a good setup for you there, Raymond. And is your pools open there yet in Philippines? Public pools?
Public pools aren't open yet, but I do have access to a private pool.
Okay.
That's where I've been doing all my swimming.
Great.
But it's a shorter pool. It's only 15 meters long. So
Yeah, as long as you got access
any
to
swimming
something,
is better
right?
than no swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I've also been doing a lot of band work with swim cords.
Yeah, we may
Well,
have
that's
TK Molina come into the stadium soon and run us through some dryland sessions using the cords. So we're going to set that up. We haven't got that set up yet, but she's talking about joining us in the stadium, so that'll be a blast. Folks, we're about 10 seconds away now from getting back into this last and final set of the day. And we're going to ramp that up right now. We are in set number 6, so let's bring that up, folks. Down, 7 to go. This is the pointy end, folks. Why it's all worthwhile is high intensity sessions. This particular training session comes from Zach Bitter, one of his miler sessions that he sets up since he gets close to racing. So comes from the best in the business. It's a good session. It's a tough one for sure. All right, folks, we can turn that back up. This is rep number 2. All right, that's 2 down, folks. We can bring that back to a rest as we come out of that second rep. 6 more to go. Got the fan there running. Got the air conditioner on too, Raymond.
Both, yeah. Fan, air conditioner.
All right, folks, rep number 3. Let's bring that back up here.
Only way you can high intensity.
All right, bring that back to a walk or a rest there, folks. Just relax.
So at this very pointy end of the workout, we've only got a few reps to go. One of the things you're going to want to pay attention to is your form as you start to fatigue. So you'll want to run attention to your stride, pay attention to your arm swing.
Got it. All right, well, let's bring it back up, folks. We're back into rep number 4. We get through this one, and that will be halfway through this this final set.
This is who I am now.
Okay, let's bring that back.
They think that I have lost my mind, that I'm not being true, but they don't have a clue, 'cause this is me when I cut out.
4 down, 4 to go, and that'll be a day. So we're getting there. Let's keep it together, folks. Let's keep the form upright. Into these 4 and final reps. And here we go now, folks. We're going to bring that back up.
Had to change. Yeah, I should shook off all the bad vibes, cut me loose from the pettiness. They turn on me, but now I am perfectly free to be me. This is who I am. This is who I am now. No matter what they say, this is who I am. This is who I am now.
Work that out. Yeah, my son is eyeing off the Miami Challenge race in March, so we'll see how that goes. But he's feeling like that could be the one. All right, folks, let's dial it into rep number 6. Bring that back up.
All the bad vibes cut me loose from the pettiness. They turn on me, but now I am perfectly free to be me. This is who I am. This is who I am now. No matter what they say, this is who I am. This is who I am now.
Only 2 to go, folks, and that'll be 8 by 6. Here we go now. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We can bring that back up.
I know there is a place for us to be. Another place where we'll be understood. 'Cause that's all I ever wanted, all we'll ever need. A place that makes us happy and free.
2 and 1.
I'll be
And that's it, folks. We got one more rep. Nice going to keep the pace here. Like seeing everyone finish off strong through these sets and reps. It's a tough one, but brought the passion to the stadium today, so it's great to see. Okay, we got 10 seconds to go. Let's finish this one strong. It's the final rep of the day. I'll bring that music up now. 3 and 2 and 1. Let's bring it up.
to go there with you, so get ready for the ride. I'll be waiting for the moment when our love lights up the sky. I'll be waiting for you. I'll be There's not a reason why you should be afraid.
Okay, folks, well done. That's an awesome session today. It's been a tough one. It's been a long one. 8 by 6 is always a tough session for sure. And we'll cross over into the warm down studio here in the kitchen and let you relax and get your breath back there. Let me just bring you up here. I think I got you. There you go. How you feeling there, Raymond? You're still running. That's a good sign.
Yeah. Good cool down. Nice long cool down. Great workout.
Yeah. Well, folks, hey, if you haven't had a try of the SFuels product, there's a QR code in the lower left there. You can hit that with your phone, and it'll take you across to the store to get access to that starter pack. And our Revival product there is what we were talking about a little earlier. You can find that up in the SFuels store also, and help you recover faster on these high-intensity sessions and have consistency across your training. So what's in store for the rest of the week? Raymond, what kind of sessions you got lined up?
We got a long swim tomorrow, 4 kilometers. Straight into a 30-minute run right after that. Today was actually a holiday, so I got
Oh, cool.
I do some biking this morning. Just
Nice.
outdoors, yeah.
That's good. Good day. Well, hey, bud, thanks for bringing the passion to the stadium, and thanks for chatting to us about your views on Daytona. And keep well and keep safe. Hope your training continues as you build toward March.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Have an awesome time.
Anytime. It's
I'll see
great.
you in the next workout.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. Absolutely. Well, folks, if you're on Zwift or just watching along with us here this morning, if you go to the Facebook or Instagram and you search for SFuels in the stickers there, you can whack that on your photo on your screen and post it out. That'll be awesome. We're getting a lot of people posting these out, so it's great to see. Until next time, folks, stay well, be healthy, and go longer. Thanks again for joining us. Be well. We'll talk soon.
Champion Dave Scott and Dr. Dan Plews. The SFuels and Endure IQ Spring 2020 Quick Start Guide is out now. It's packed with info, charts, and tools to rapidly transition your endurance training and racing to your best results yet. Download yours today and raise your performance with SFuels. With tips from Ironman World Champion Dave Scott,